So, let's talk a bit about the best unused feature in MLB The Show 23. The captains. I gotta be honest, they were really bad when the game first launched. Like, there's almost no reason to even look at them. I guess the cover athlete captain was pretty good. But now, there's a lot of them that are pretty good. And let's talk about it here. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Some of these captains are going to be even better than your main teams. First and foremost, though, I gotta say it's just awful game design to not have these all be core. Every captain card should be core. Otherwise, people aren't going to be able to really use them. My whole idea for captains would be if you use a team captain. You know, let's say you wanted to use only Cardinals. Any Cardinal, no matter the set or season it was released in, is available. That's something I would love for them to do. But we'll touch on that later. For now, let's just talk about some of the captains that are really good and you should be using. Here we got Mike Piazza. This was released in set 1, so you got a wild card, the old boy. A 92 overall card. And his boost is great. He's gonna boost, and his boost is great. 15 contact left, 15 power left, 5 power right, and 15 batting clutch. You do have to have 10 players, catcher, primary, or secondary. Now, of course, you're not going to have the wild card token because you used it on your captain, but, I mean, you see how many good cards are here. You've got Adley, the Jimmy Fox, Carlos Delgado can play catcher. He probably better catch than he is outfielder in this game, to be honest. And that's the biggest issue with this one, is the outfield. I mean, there's Kyle Schwarber as an eligible option. As far as a true center fielder, I guess Kyle Teel might be your best bet. Corner outfield, even then, is going to be slow. As Schwarber, like I mentioned, Gary Carter. You could throw Craig Biggio in at center field. And if you grab the Martin Dihigo from the Set 3 collection, you should be sitting pretty, but otherwise, this is pretty good. Now, pitcher captains are like the steaks my dad used to make. Tough. Hard to chew, way overcooked, 200 degrees. They're tough because pitch mixes are very important in the show. I mean, even Randy Johnson's pitch mix is not the best, but with the arm slot, he does not have outlier on this card, which is a little tough. You know, he doesn't have that sinker. He doesn't have that cutter. But there are a few that work, and I think this is one of them. So the Tall Kings captain, you have to have 9 players. And again, this is going to be varying for all captains. Some that I have on this list, you need up to 11 to get the tier 3 boost. Some only require 8, so it really depends on the captain. But Randy requires 9 of 6'6" and taller. I don't know, I think 6 foot is pretty damn tall if you ask me, but prejudice aside, here they have strikeout, hits, and stamina buff, which there's some pretty good pitchers here if you look at them. And this is all done on Showzone, by the way, not sponsored by them, but they do a great job, way better than the show actually does with their own game. But you see, you could boost like the Dustin May, who's already one of the best starters in the game, and he just gets that much better. You got Mark Mulder there, the Roy Halladay becomes, in my opinion, like a top 3, top 5 starter at that rate. Paul Skeens, you got Thor Noah Syndergaard back when he wasn't blowing chunks on Los Angeles, or well, Los Angeles, the other Los Angeles, Philly, Cleveland, he got cut from there. You know, you got Felix Bautista, Henchy, Sam Henches over in Cleveland. There's a handful of good ones, but like most pitcher captains, how it works is you're a couple short, so you pretty much have to have like 2 or 3 pitchers that you just don't use, unless you're at like 10 runs. I love this one. Nobody talks about it. Vlad is the captain. It should be Javier Baez. It should require like 15 play discipline or lower. But he gets a great boost, contact right, power left, and there's so many good cards. If you look at who gets the buff, Julio Rodriguez, his son, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Congrats on the sex, Vlad. Dante Bichette, Tony Gwynn, the new Roberto Clemente. Add on 10 more power to him. I mean, just so many great cards. Bo Bichette, Tim Anderson, and this one, a handful of them are free. I mean, J-Rod, a lot of people got Vlad for free. Clemente in the new program, Tim Anderson, very obtainable, and you only need 8 to get a tier 3 boost. This might be the best captain. It's 1A, 1B with another we'll talk about. Jimmy Rollins, the shortstop theme team, secondary, primary, it don't matter. 15 in 10 contact right and left, clutch and speed. And this one's so good because the sheer volume of options, whether you're rich or poor, you're going to be able to run this theme team very well. Now, obviously, you've got some really expensive cards in the mix like LED the Cruz, who everybody wants but few can afford. Javier Baez, who's even more expensive than him. I mean, there's just so many good ones if you go down the list, and obviously some are no longer able to be used here. But J-Roll is core, so you still get your wild card. You can put in Chipper Jones there if you want. The new Ernie Banks, he's going to really get a big buff from this contact boost. I mean, so many. You have Jose Ramirez. You've got Marcus Semien. We talk about affordable. Can't get much more affordable than free. And you do need 11 players to get tier 3 boost, which is a little tough. Like catcher, for example, unless you picked Dehigo, which most people didn't, you're probably just going to have to use, I don't know, Adley. You know, not that bad. You still get 2 slots that are not shortstop related. You got this one, the arm accuracy chem, which is fan-fucking-tastic. 9 hitters, 95 or higher accuracy. But you get 15 contact both ways, 10 fielding, and 15 clutch. And once more, you have really good cards to put on it. I'm not going to say this is quite in the same tier as a, you know, J-Roll captain, but it's good. The main issue is that you just don't get the 99 Mookie. You got to use the inferior one. But Buxton gets buffed. A lot of expensive cards. Buxton, Realmuto, which would really turn that Realmuto into a monster. Semien again fits so many theme teams. So pretty solid captain, but a few limited options. And then a guy like Clemente is you're not going to even get the buff. He's already got max contact. I love this one. I'm surprised I don't see more people run it because so many people are using the Team Affinity 3 cards. 10 players, so you can still fit 3 that were not part of TA, like Adley or Acuna. But Team Affinity was really strong. And a lot of it being the 97s, like Trey Turner was really good. The Jonathan Scope was such a monster, that card. So again, the theory of 97s, it does work in concept if people use captains, because I think that's the main issue. They give out 97s and say, well, they're 99s with a captain boost, but you don't get people to use them. And I'm hoping that this will help a little bit. You know, you got like D. Gordon there as well, but of course the big boys. Corbin Carroll, Jose Ramirez, who's not popping up for some reason, they are getting the boost as well. Collection cards in the TA captains will still get it. And it really turns that team into a beast. I think without a doubt the best captain boost is the durability theme team, which they are trying their absolute very best to nerf by giving guys like 97 or how about 98 durability. And if you don't know, even with the parallel, it doesn't count. You have to naturally have that 99 stat in order to be theme team eligible. Just so many good cards, like Trout, LED the Cruz, and Ripken Jr. is going to boost your contact and fielding, of course. And it just really turns the best cards into the game into literally gods at that point, like the Griffey. Or you take a look at the Jose Ramirez. So many of these. You're pretty much going to run a max contact team if you're running the max durability team. I think the best pitching captain you can do is easily Tom Henke. Now, don't get me wrong. This card is pretty buns. It's pretty ass. But the boost is good. 15 hit, 15K, 10 pitch clutch, and a little bit of BB9 too. And a lot of bullpens got eviscerated once Season 2 was wiped from circulation. And this is really filled in that hole because Team Affinity 4 has so many good pitchers with good mixes, but not quite enough good enough stats. But you add in like on Edwin Diaz or Joan Duran or Felix Bautista. There's so many good options. You have a couple of lefties and Brad Hand and Jose Alvarado, where it becomes really, really nice. Now, the starters, not so much. I don't think you really have to worry about that. I think you'll need to get tier 3. You'll have to put in 2 starters from Team Affinity, like Walter Johnson and, I don't know, find in one more, but super good boost. And I do want to talk about theme teams, actual captains for a little bit here too. There are some really good ones. I think Baltimore's quite good at this point. You get Adley, you get Manny Machado, you get Cedric Mullins. A lot of these tend to be pretty expensive, pretty hard to get. Realistically, a good team that's going to get the boost, like you can probably fit, 10 Orioles or whatever, 10 Red Sox, but are they going to be good 10 Red Sox where it actually makes sense to use? That's tough. And a lot of them have gotten really expensive or hard to get. Think about Mookie and think about Rafi. That is a collection card and one that cost, get my fat ass out of the way here, 440,000 stubs. So it's tough. I'll name a couple that I think are really good. The Red Sox and Orioles, 2 of them. The Yankees is very strong as well. A lot of these are just victim of sets and seasons, and the shortcomings that comes with that is the cards leave you and you can't use them anymore. Or in the Rays case, their best card, Randy Arozarena, well, you can't use him because their hitting captain is Randy Arozarena. So that becomes really irritating, really frustrating. You have the Blue Jays, another team that would be a great theme team, but their best cards, Bo Bichette, 300K, Sean Green, 170K, Carlos Delgado, 170K, where, if you have the stubs, they're going to be really good. They're going to get a great boost, but it's tough to actually get that whole squad together. The Twins arguably might be the best one out here, which sounds insane to say. You probably don't even believe me. Even if I show you the stats, you're probably still going to be sitting there in awe, in disbelief. But look at this. You have Byron Buxton, who gets to be max everything except contact, right, and vision. Torrey Hunter has pretty much max power. Yeah, the vision's a little suspect, sure. Justin Morneau's insane. This is on the Rock Crew boost. Royce Lewis becomes really good. You've got Miguel Sano, Joe Mauer, 2 guys that are pretty much maxed out as well. Top to bottom, they're just stacked to the brim. Again, sets and seasons have hurt them a little bit. The Angels are actually pretty good, and you can make it work even without the million. Well, he's only 785 only. Trout's cheap. Buy him now before he goes back up to 7 digits. There's actually a lot of good, like Luis Renifo or Randall Grichuk can make a pretty good theme team there. The Mariners are good. They have such a strong outfield between Griffey, Cameron, Teoscar, and J-Rod, so you got to find one of those to put in DH. Rangers are really strong as well. You see how many good set 3 and set 4 cards they have there. The Braves are probably the best that you could run because you're getting, Acuna, Wildcard Hank, well, Chipper's there too. They're so strong. It's so overpowered. Surely it's not like that in real life, too. The Marlins have gotten pretty nice, too, with this incredible Giancarlo Stanton card. The Phillies are good. The Cubs have a pretty good theme team. The Dodgers as well. But for the most part, theme team captains a little tougher just because of the sets and seasons, how that works. But, there is good captains. There is a way to make it work, like I said, and those are the ones that I'd recommend. So leave a like if you guys did enjoy this one. Let me know if you guys have been using captains at all this year, and thank you for watching.